Bashers. Why does it sound so crap today? Wow. That's better. Oh boy, my volume is low. It's cold in here. It's cold in New York. Brr, 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 brr. Ooh. I was up all night editing and wound up writing a song. I don't know how that happened. In the middle of editing because it was missing something. And I was like, oh, it needs a little ditty there. And there it was. Yeah, hey Bashers, how are you? It is Thursday night. Juggling a lot of crap this week. I've got court tomorrow with you know who, and I had to get a lot of that stuff together. It's just ugliness. Trying to find a way to dig out of that nonsense that we're being put through for no reason whatsoever. And oh god, there goes the phone. I always want to get one of those people on the phone, but it's probably I don't know who it is. It's usually somebody from somewhere in the far east, and they're always trying to sell me a new cable plan. But they're not really from cable. They're not from cable at all. Who knows where they're from? Enjoying a coffee in one of my beautiful new Henkel glasses, courtesy of the beautiful Hanson Joe LaFaro. My beautiful Drew B coffee. I feel so blessed. I'm freezing. It's freezing cold in here. Who got number one? Nick Sisto back in the chair. Sorry, Dave Fahrenheit 451. I owe you a song, and I'll do it after the show. I put away the Final Cut Pro for probably till 8 o'clock tonight, and then I'll resume. Getting there. I'm about 75% of the way done with it. Listen, at this point in the game, the first Omega in space, everybody did a video on that, and I'm not in the watch game other than I come from there, so it's going to be more of a video about the watch and the romance of it, et cetera, and stuff like that. It's not really going to be, because everybody else is like, this is the brand new Omega, and then here's all the stuff, and, blah, blah, and it's got this, and it's got that, and, they're all mostly kind of the same, so it's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be more like a little bit of a films, a little bit of New York, just a little bit of history, and a little bit of music, and stuff like that. Stuff to make it fun for everybody. So Nick Sisto's number one, Bachelor of the Day, and a $10 super chat. The Yankees are on at 5 p.m. tonight, so I'll have to watch the replay. Here's the deal with, I don't know how it works across the pond in, say, the UK or Ireland or mainland continental Europe. But here, we always used to watch baseball, which is America's pastime, like it or not. And I am a big baseball fan, and I'm a big Met fan, and we are in the playoffs, and we had a very bad showing last night, but I couldn't watch it. Why? Because I don't subscribe to that particular service. It's just not fair that something as money-making as that is, they should have a deal with one network that all the fans of the whatever respective team can 100% be able to watch the match, game, or whatever. What they do is some nights it'll be for free on Channel 11. Some days it'll be on Fox Sports Net. Some days it'll be on SNY. It's completely unfair that you have to have 5 different streaming services and an antenna to watch your favorite sport. I just don't think it's fair. And it's just money, 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 money. I have the following. I have too many things. I got rid of cable years ago because my cable bill was insane. $275 a month for one TV. I have one television in my house. I have one TV. That's it. So I have internet with my cable company. I have a landline, which I just can't seem to get rid of because I've had the number forever. And I have, that's it. That's all I have. But, so on the internet, I use, like a Fire Stick or whatever. I use something else. And I renegotiated my contract with my cable supervisor. And I said, I'm going to get rid of cable television forever. I don't want it anymore. I'll just subscribe to a couple things. Well, what happened? I've got HBO, I've got Hulu, I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Paramount Plus. I mean, how many things do you have to have? And then if you want to watch your favorite sports, you have to subscribe to, whatever league's app there is. It's just not fair. I just think that national sports, big sports like football, soccer for you guys, baseball, basketball, we have a lot here. Too many, probably. You guys have one. And what else do you got? You got one. You got football. We have baseball, basketball, Hockey. Am I missing one? Football. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you want to watch, they're not on TV. You have to subscribe to the NHL, the MLB, the NBA, and whatever. Did I miss one? The basketball. I don't know. Yeah, I got it. I don't know. You have to subscribe to each and every single one of them. So, like, I didn't get to watch the Met game last night. I had to edit, true. So it was probably a blessing in disguise. I actually did something productive. But I can't watch tonight's game either. And I would like to watch today's game because I have a stressful day coming up tomorrow early in the morning. And I need distractions. And to be honest with you, Final Cut and working on the videos is not exactly the most stress-free thing. It's a lot of editing, a lot of work. I went to bed at 4:30 in the morning. But at around 2:30, 2:45, I was working on this part of the video that and I'm using like incidental, music loops and stuff, nothing I'm creating, so to speak. And then there was a hole for what I was looking for, this kind of memorial type of whimsical thing. I couldn't find out, so I dragged a loop into there, and it was a nice little piano motif. And then I was like, oh, I really like that. Then I found myself humming along to it while I was trying to place it. And I was like, oh, I don't like that. So I cut it and then I moved it around. And I'm still humming it. And as I'm humming it, I realized that I'm editing it to make sure the vocal melody in my head is like, there's no vocal melody. And then I was like, maybe there needs to be a vocal melody in there. And I was like, shit, I'm singing it in this like Kate Bush kind of voice, which I'm a guy. And I'm like, oh, wow. And my best friend, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Mary Ryan, who sounds just like Kate Bush, she moved up to Vermont, so I can't get her. So at 4:00 in the morning, I'm sitting there doing like this, I know a place where we kind of vocal and recording it. And I was done around 4:30. And that's it. So I got to be creative. I was talking to the big guy earlier, how this technical stuff that we're doing when we're making videos and we're doing the technical part of it, not the live show. This is the fun part, talking to you guys, seeing what's going on. But what isn't fun is these big YouTubers, the big ones, they have editors that do this stuff, the math. Because who wants to do the math? I didn't want to do the math. But anyway, that's my story. Big bang out for you. Let's give you the super chat gong. Thank you very much for the super chats, guys. Oh, Joe LaFaro joined Patreon, and that was another sweet thing that happened last night. God, my index finger just hit the gong. Little things that make you smile at night. Little things that make you smile at night. That's the name of the next video. Little things that make your. Anyway, my phone lit up at 3:00 in the morning, and it was like Joe LaFaro joined Patreon. Now, Joe LaFaro, you all know, he's been amazing. He got me these coffee cups. He's a sweetheart of a man. Amazing guy. And then he did that, and he's also a super chatter, and he's a PayPal guy, and he's really supportive of the channel. And I was like, you have already been so nice to me, thank you so much. It's very humbling. And it was like, in the middle of all this work, when you're doing all this stuff, I mean, this is maybe 40 hours so far of editing, and maybe it's going to be totally shit, I don't know, but it's a lot of work. And you just go, wow, this is totally worth it. Because, I've got people out there that want to see it and stuff like that. And I'm grateful. So thank you, Nick Sisto. Seen orders, he upvoted. Please upvote. Man, you have no idea what just the thumbs up, just the thing down there. And also leaving comments. If Dirk says something that I'm going to talk in the third person for a minute. If Dirk says something that you don't like, say something about Dirk. I don't like you, Dirk. You suck. Blah, 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 blah. I hate the fact that you're obsessed with cats and animals, and you stupid vegetarian moron. You can say any of that stuff. When you put a comment down in the bottom, you wouldn't believe what it does. It like feeds the YouTube machine. They're like, yum, yum, give me more. Oh, I'm going to feed this guy to other people. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, you can tell. Because every morning when you wake up and you're a YouTuber, you go and you check to see and you go, what happened? But it's been really great lately. So thanks for the upvotes. Leave your comments on the bottom if you have any questions or anything you want to say. You also know that you can reach me at basherdirk@gmail.com. We all know that. That's where you give me the Gallery of Bastards, which is the most important part. You share it with me, and I share with the world. I got a bunch of people right now. Very nice. I got Steve just came in. Indeed, Mackenzie, of course. Oh, some of my fragrances. Ooh. Yeah, I started talking about fragrances. And then every YouTube video I get now has a fragrance commercial, and they're trying to sell me on this weird ass shit. And also this Chinese watch. It's called like White Two. And it's not ugly. It's nicer than the Trump watch, but I'm just like, it just won't stop. And I've even hit the little circle and said, I don't want to see this ad anymore. And I also get these ads for Henry Rose. I'm spruiking now. I'm not. Henry Rose perfume. And here's the commercial. I think I said yesterday, oh, this girl behind me said I smell great. I met this woman on the street and she could stop me. I was on the subway and this girl stopped me. Everybody stops these people because they wear this Michelle Pfeiffer invented fragrance that comes in a very medicinal looking bottle. I don't know what it smells like, but the fragrance world is awash with a lot of crap and a lot of similarities. There's not a whole lot of individual stuff. It's very on trend. Oh, I hate that expression. Oh, on trend. That's very on trend. That's no fun. And how did I get into this predicament? Oh, the fragrances. So he sent me some fragrances to look at. I love fragrances. You guys all know. I like it. Ray says, ahoy, me bastardos. Welcome aboard. You were the inspiration to that. Today's ship pirates out on the open seas. I was, in the middle of the afternoon. I was like, shit, I didn't put up a thumbnail yet. I guess I should get on that. So I took a 5-minute break and started making that thing. I don't know if you noticed the little Easter egg, but the cats are drowning me in a barrel of wine. You can see my head is just peeking up over the waterline of wine that's in the barrel. I thought that was fun, a little Easter egg. I'm actually in the picture. I thought it'd be really funny. Dean says the Pirates of Long Island. Oh, you wouldn't believe the Pirates of Long Island. Ooh, Long Island is a very strange town, my friend. Very strange town. It's very highly politically charged. Everybody kind of talks like this. It's where all the people from Brooklyn and Queens left, and they're all out there and like, I don't like this, god damn it, and I don't like that, god damn it, and I don't like this, god damn it. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. Carolyn Merriton says, congratulations, Nick Sisto, on being #1. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, it is. Absolutely. And he says, thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn Martin with a $9.99 contribution. Just a small contribution to the channel to make sure Dirk doesn't have to get a real job. Thank you, darling. I hope I don't ever have to, because at this point I'm getting a little long in the tooth, because as I know from my last job, somebody said he's older than F. Some 20 or 21-year-old girl said that. She goes, how old is that guy anyway? Older than your dad, but old enough to know better. Thank you, darling. Let's give you Super Chat Con 2. Carolyn Martin also says, Nick Sisto, I am. Thank you. Yesterday started at OT and now she can touch her finger. I didn't get a chance. She called me today and I had my phone off because I was editing deeply with binoculars, trying to get as much as I could get going. And I didn't even realize it till like 2 hours later. I apologize for that. Dean wants to know, what's a barrel's favorite movie? Casablanca. That's a pretty good one. Melly C is in the room. Hello, Dirk and all the bashers. You and yours, my darling. Hiteshi, meow, matey, shiver me timbers. What have you done with Dirk? There you go. You saw it. That's funny. How do barrels stay in shape? They do a lot of keg exercise. Oh, you're full of them tonight, aren't you? Hilarious. Kevin Landon, lucky #7. I have the day off so I can bash live. Welcome to the live show. Good wishes to Dirk and all the best. Good wishes to you. Listen, it's just a day. We show up at 5 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time in New York City, to get together and have our little social club, which is what we've kind of had here. Oshin and I were talking about it earlier today. Like, well, I've got 2,000 and blah, blah, blah subscribers. I have the best subscribers because everybody shows up and it's a community where we hang out together and do amazing stuff. I just host the show. That's like I've always said. It's your show. I just host it. Because, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about when I get in here. Just going to talk about, I cooked an omelet last night. Or let's talk about vichyssoise or any, generally it's not that. It's, how about this stuff? I just tried that. Anybody ever tried this spin drift? I'm throwing brands out. I'm trying to drink more of this instead of my Diet Coke because, I'm going to die from that. It's really good. It's grapefruit, and I liked it. And I got a case of it, and it's good. I don't mind it. I don't know. What do you think? Dean also says, What do you call a barrel who is always complaining? A wine barrel. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my God, he's got a million of them. How does a barrel flirt? It rolls out the compound. How do you have all these barrel jokes? Where did you get barrel jokes from? Unbelievable. Dean says, hey, Mr. Kingsley, enjoyed your music track. You have similar tones to Dirk. Oh, thanks. That's awfully sweet. Thank you. I'm flattered. Andrew Wolkowicz, Canadian, $5. Work until 5:30. I watched the recording. Aw. Be well and inspire yourself and others. Upvote and subscribe. Consider becoming a Patreon if you can. And so many have this month. I got like 6 new Patreons this in the last 2 weeks. Man, I'm grateful. I say, man, you have no idea how that really helps. You know, when I'm going out to get this, that, or the other, or whatever, and keep the lights on and all that stuff, it really helps because, you know, I'm just not behind the bar anymore. Thank you for that, kiddo. I'm going to give you this because I always do. It would be weird if I didn't, wouldn't it be? Dino with the Dirkish and Kingsley Basherettes. Dun, 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 dun. We could do a collab. It'd be fun. I haven't written music in 2 years, maybe. There was going to be another Hitman record because we were on fire. All the metal people really liked our 2020 album, and we did those very successful festivals, and everything was going really kind of gangbusters. And then the usual crap happened, the drama. I don't want to do this, and you don't want to do that, and we can't do this show. And we had a manager who died, and we loved him, but he didn't really do anything. And it was just a whole bunch of messy stuff. We could have my problem, and a lot of artists' problems, is you never know when to stay on the frickin' train. Stay on the train, just keep going. It's rolling. If you stay on it, you're gonna go somewhere. Doesn't matter where it is. It might take you to a town, a festival, this, that, or the other that you never knew about. But we're our own worst enemies. You know, we were supposed to play these shows with this group called Accept, and this promoter didn't pay us when we opened up for Queensryche, and we were mad. We should have just done it. I don't know. And we just disagreed. I don't know. And then everybody got burnt out, and I get it. Why wouldn't you want to work on something that you know is just going to be joyful and be a great experience? Being in a rock band is like filled with tension. That's why solo artists, have a much more enjoyable, lifespan, I think, because when you're dealing with other cooks in the kitchen, and even though you can't touch the dynamic of a great band, it's the reason why that guy makes the band great and this guy makes the band great. And then without that one guy, it's not so great anymore. I'm not a big fan of going to see music artists that have like 1 or 2 guys left, In our case, our bass player died, and then we played our first festival with everybody but him. And we have this amazing guy named Greg who's happened to be friends with our bass player and taught him how to play. So it's just crazy. And then our drummer and our guitar player didn't get along. And, that's nothing new. I mean, it's hard being the UN. Look how useless they are. Look at how useless. Anybody been watching that? I don't want to get into it, but is anybody watching all the UN and all the stuff that goes on there? And nothing gets done? Like, what exactly? It was for a time. It's not for now. It doesn't make any sense now. It's a beautiful building. It looks like something out of Spectre. It's outrageously mid-century modern, and the General Assembly. If anybody's ever, I have been in there. I mean, it's literally 15 minutes from my house. If I had a boat, I could be there in 5. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. And it's ominous. You walk in there, and it's so impressive. And you see all the tables with all the names of all the countries. And then there's a whole gallery, and that's where all the interpreters are. Like when you go to an arena and you see all those, luxury boxes. Well, the luxury boxes in there are all the interpreters for all those. Everybody's got an earpiece on so they can hear what Zimbabwe is saying and what China is saying and what Russia or whatever country. It's incredible that the system they have there. But ultimately, they pass all these resolutions that nobody pays attention to anymore. Well, I'm not going to pay attention to that because this guy did that, and I'm not going to do that. It's all 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's exactly what it is. Terrible. And I owe you something for that there, Dino. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Dave Fahrenheit 451. I'll give you your song. I'm so sorry. Just been, I don't know, pounding it. And then I have court with Rose next week. This weekend, though, on Saturday, I'm going to a family thing, and I'm so looking forward to, like, because I don't eat anything anymore, and it's just so bleh. And I had a cheat week, and I didn't go for it. I had a cheat week because I didn't, because I'm not getting the results that I want. So I'm just not doing it. I'm now what, 5 weeks? 5 weeks. I used to be able to drop 25 pounds in like a week because I was young and my body was like, yeah, let's get fit. I should start running or something, but I'm afraid that if I don't go have a cardiovascular physical first, that if I start running, I'll just have a massive heart attack and drop dead. I should probably do that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to going there, and I'm going to make that a day where I can drink some wine and eat some of my stepmother-in-law's fantastic food, because that's where we're going out to We're going to Long Island. We're going to go to Long Island. It's going to be amazing. So all the way out to, it's where I wanted to go skydiving. And you know what? Nobody wanted to go. I couldn't get a single person to go with me. Not a single. No one wanted to go skydiving. And I had it set for September, October, and everybody's like, what are you, crazy? My sister forbade me from doing it. Then I had second thoughts about it, and I really still want to do it. But there is a skydive location in the area of Italy where I want to go, actually in the same town. So next time I'm there, I'll consider it. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Saturday. I'm not going to gorge myself, and it'll probably be like orzo salad or corn on the cob or whatever it is, because you can't have corn when you're on keto because it's loaded with sugar. Apparently diabetics, it's very dangerous for diabetics. It spikes your insulin levels and things like that. What are you going to do? I'm going to have it with some butter, but I've had plenty of butter because it's keto. Upvote everyone. Basher time. It's Martin and the beautiful Bronson. Great to see you, buddy. How are you? Great to see you. Eric B, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Evening, all Angelo's here too, and Daniel Gutierrez is here. Oh, all the you sexy mother. Dave Fitzsimons. Speaking of handsome, beautiful, and wonderful. Hey, Basharisti and Cataristi. The Cataristis are always here. Ray says, in 5 years' time, all big sporting events will be in Saudi Arabia. They're buying up all major sporting events. Well, that's in Europe, not here. They're not doing that. We have a very tense relationship with Saudi Arabia and what's his name? BDS. Wow. I've seen that guy on TV talk a million times, and he's a rather attractive looking bloke, beautifully attired, super duper rich, and a murderer. The stuff that goes on in that crazy country. They've got a lot of oil and we want it. It's just so stupid. It's just so incredibly stupid that, we are willing to put our necks on the line for stuff like that. Hopefully in 10 years time, they're buying up all the football events, but they're not buying. You know who they're buying up? Ray darling, basher of mine. They're buying up all the musicians. Everyone's going to the Middle East to play for some chic shake and roll guy, some kind of crazy guy. It used to be oligarchs. They'd all go to Russia. Now you can't do that. They all go to, Dubai's Disneyland. So we know that's not really, that's a Middle East light, but they're going to all these crazy places and they're put up in these palaces, while people are enslaved and starving and crazy stuff. And the people are being tortured and stuff. I'm not saying we don't do that, but I'm saying they do it more. It's just a different mentality because, people have very strange interpretations of the books that they read. I always say, read your books, just do a light takeaway from it. But there's a lot of money. And when there's a lot of money, it's just, it's a finite resource. It's finite. One day that'll all dry up, and then we'll find out, oh crap, the mantle needed it. We'll find out that was the lubricant of the crust of the earth that's seeped into, is that right? Seeped? It's not sept, right? Seeped. into the crust and the mantle. We'll find out that, but by that time, who knows? Kingdom Come might have happened. But yeah, they're buying up. All the big stars are going over there. These private events. They're being flown privately. They're not flying on, and they're being flown privately because they want to drink and do stuff. Because Saudi Arabia is apparently a completely dry country. I know their airline is dry, but I'm sure that there's inside the palace they could do whatever the hell they want. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Eric B wants to know if it's an A major. No, it's not. I don't think I've ever written an A major in my life. It's weird, right? Well, A minor, E minor is the heavy metal default. I love F sharp minor. I love those because I started out on piano, so I tend to prefer a lot of that stuff. A major, not my favorite key, and it's just a weird key to. No, weird. Well, what's a big song that's in A major? I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Like, I mean, all the nursery rhymes and stuff. I mean, they can transpose them into whatever you want, but they're all just like C major. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hey, Dirk, good day to you, kind sir. Good day to you and the brood. Now that we know, isn't it wonderful? Joe LaFaro's here. Hey, well, no, thank you, Joe LaFaro. You in the middle of the night. I was all alone and I was just working, like really, when I don't think I did it because I went and I took care of my neighbor, but, I mean, I was in my pajamas most of the day, just sitting here with like cups of coffee and Diet Cokes all over the place. And you just really made me happy. In the middle of the night, I was like, oh, Joe, what a sweetheart. And then we all had a little Patreon chatteroony thing because there's stuff to do on there. I should be doing way more than that. I gave them a little sneak peek of the song. I've changed it around ever so slightly. But that's what happens on there. Release the creativity. Love that you're doing the soundtrack as well. Well, I'm not doing the whole soundtrack because what I was doing is, you want material that can't get nabbed. And some people don't care, like, oh, she doesn't care. But I do. I'm a small channel. So I was just using like in the software that I use called Logic Pro, they have just these royalty-free things. And, like I've got this jazzy thing for the streets and this really pretty thing for the Omega introduction. And then this particular segment of the video, which is pretty short, minute 20. I wanted something a little bit more heart-tugging and ethereal. And so I grabbed the loop and I liked some of it, but not all of it. So I grabbed some of it and then I finished the rest of it. So yeah, it was fun. It's fun. It like actually kind of was the tonic, it was the elixir to just the technicalities, just doing the technical work. I mean, if you were an accountant, listen, some people are accountants and some people love accounting. Some people are construction workers and they love construction. It's important to love what you do if you can. Not everybody does. As a bartender in New York City, I think I told you guys the Tony Concrete story, that I met the guy that was pouring the concrete for the World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center. And he was such a misery. His whole life was upside down. He hated everything about it. And I said, well, what's good? He goes, I love the concrete. He enjoys what he does. So it's important to at least be able to do, like, when I was a kid, I enjoyed bartending and I love people. So therefore, that's why I don't read fiction. I never read fiction. I read biographies because how people tick and their stories is extremely appealing to me. Meeting somebody like, listen, I've never dated in my life. When I was younger, there's other things that you do. But I never really dated, I met somebody and that was it for hopefully for eternity. And I never went on dates. And I just think about people are like, because I feel like I go on dates because I've been a bartender for so long. So I see the first dates, I hear the first dates, or people will tell me their story. And I'm like, and it's a big if for whatever reason I was single, I don't think it would be as painful as people say it is, unless it's painful. Because I love hearing people's stories. People like, you have no, I don't want to hear people's shit. And oh my God, you know how hard it is to go out there and listen to their crap. Well, if you just want to jump somebody's bones, you can just go on one of those apps. And isn't that what that's for? Because that's what the kiddies do now. In my day, you had to go to a bar and actually physically meet a person if you wanted to talk or hook up. It didn't really matter what you did. You had to go out, leave the house. I mean, some people are just like lounging on their couch, in their socks, and they're like, I'm horny. Click, 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 click. And then 2 seconds later, the pizza guy's at the door or whatever it is. To me, that just sounds no way. First of all, never invite a murderer into your home. And never go to a second location. So the answer is just take the pizza and close the door. But I think about the poor guys that I know that have to go out on dates and then have to, there's a lot of work when you want to start dating somebody, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship. I would imagine, I've never been single. Never. So I don't even know what it's like. I've seen it. I've observed it. I've bartended it. I've gotten her drunk and him drunk and him drunk and him drunk and her drunk and her drunk. I've done all of that stuff. And the only thing I can do is try to offer some sage information about stuff. I've been a wingman. I've been I've been all of those things for people who are out. If somebody's like out on the prowl trying to peacock around, then they can go to hell. But sometimes I've met some super beautiful girls at the bar, and they're single, and I'm like, oh man, I know a guy. I've met a guy named Ted last week, and I think he'd be great. And I have so many of the phone numbers. That's how it works when you're a bartender. You start relationships, you wind up getting their Facebook, because that's how old I am, or whatever it is, your Insta, your Snap, and you have a way to communicate with people. Say, hey, Ted, how many times I actually hooked up 3 people who got married at the bar, which I thought was really, really cool, because I can tell, I can actually do the homework for you, because I can tell what she's like and what this guy's like, and I can pair them. I go, oh, well, she loves sailing and she doesn't like sushi. She doesn't believe in this political thing or that religious thing. And I'm like, I know a guy named Ted who I think it will work out great for you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then there's also the physical thing. People, like what they like. That's what makes the world go round, that you like Tudor and I like Omega. And I slept in my Milgauss last night. First time I've ever slept with a watch, I think, ever. And I didn't even realize that I did it. I did switch hands though, because I'm on the show. But last night, I literally stumbled into bed because I was blind. I couldn't even see straight. I was so tired. And I just kind of dove into bed, and I didn't realize. And I woke up and I was like, and it was so, I wear my watch fitted. It's not, there's no loosey-goosey, but I have lost a couple of pounds now. So it's definitely, and I didn't think it would make a difference, but it actually has a little bit. So I used the adjustment and I fixed it. But when I woke up, it was so tight, it was almost constrictive. It was very, very odd thing. I never really experienced that before, because I've never slept with a watch, And Daniel Gutierrez says the Trump watch stream was hilarious. It was. Well, his was the only one with humor, when you're doing watch reviews, there's a formula that gets really super duper boring, and it's best to avoid it. Melly C says she never dated either. Yeah, I've never, and I hope I never have to, because oh God. I mean, I'm so set in my ways at this point, and I don't really care about the other thing that much anymore. So, I mean, I think that's for the young, not that I'm an old man or anything, but it's just like, I love seeing young love and flirtation and all that cute stuff. And then I think about all the horrible rules that they have to adhere to now about being so PC and being so, like flirting is now harassment, They used to say, somebody used to tell me a really great joke, and it was like, what's the difference? Okay, so What's the difference in the office? What's the difference between a great date and sexual harassment? He's ugly. So, I mean, the kids, we didn't have that. People were politically incorrect. People openly flirted, and flirting is one of them. It's better than the chase is better than the catch. And I've always said that. How fun it is to be flirtatious and feel like you're attractive to somebody, and likewise, and right back at them, people like to feel attractive. They like to think that somebody finds them attractive. I think that as long as it's not creepy, but what's not creepy anymore? There's a lot of creepy creeps out there, but then there's a lot of nice people that just want to meet somebody and maybe have a couple of beers and a makeout. There's nothing wrong with that. It's lovely. And it's fun. But now people are, I remember one time, I think I might have said this on the show once. There was a girl at the bar. This is 2017, 2019. It was before COVID. And she's there. She's gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. And she was beautifully, everything about her was just, and she had a Cartier on tank. Really very classy. It was really good. She's furiously texting. I said, taking the office home? She goes, no, I'm on Tinder. And I was like, what are you doing on Tinder? And she's like, I don't know. It's hard to meet somebody. And she's sitting at the bar and there's about 50 guys there. And I said, darling, there's like 50 eligible guys and some of them are really handsome. And he goes, ew, in person? That's sick. And I looked at her and I said, yeah, but the guys on there, what might result is you wind up in 16 different bags on the side of the highway. At least when you meet somebody, you can suss them out and you're around the public. You can make better, as long as you're not drunk, you can make a decision based on the truth. What's he like? What do his shoes like? What do his hands look like? Does he have nice clothes? Did he buy you the drinks? Does he have friends? What kind of people are they? Have you seen some lone wolf, smoking in the corner and looking at a woman like in a strange way? Well, you can't do that anymore, but you know what I'm saying, giving you the goo eye, the creepy goo eye. You're like, I want to eat you. Like he's the big bad wolf. Yeah, then to run away. But you don't know what's on there. The catfish crap, it's so real. It's so completely real. I mean, those people could be completely full of shit. And I think that's really super duper scary. Danny Gutierrez says, Dean, I started as a Rolex guy, but it changed. Yeah, everybody changes when they get a speedy, man. Everybody thought that. Steve Zgaliski's in the room. Good evening, Dirk and all. Finally made it. It's kind of becoming, welcome to the routine, man. It's my routine. I love to come here every night and talk to everybody. It's great to see you live, too. Very, very cool. Nikon FM2N. I slept with my watch, and that happens to me every morning. It does. It's tight. So what does that mean physiologically? Does that mean that your body gets puffy while you're sleeping? God, I'm working so hard to not be puffy. My clothes are really loose. My pants are really loose, but I'm waiting for what it is? Collagen and elastin. It disappears from your body and you have to figure it out, Dean says, a customer of mine wrote a book on concrete. How is that possible? He was the most boring person I've ever met. Let me tell you, this guy's name was Tony Concrete. You can Google him. I found out his real name eventually. He was very handsome and he looked like Joe Rockhead, from the Flintstones. He was a very blue-jawed, chiseled guy, and he'd just gone through a divorce. His life was crap. His kids hated him, blah, 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 blah. And he threw me 100. He threw 100 on the bar. And he goes, don't get used to that. And I went, okay. And he was drinking the best whiskey I had, which was not the best. It was like Macallan 18. It was decent. He said, what scotches do you have? I said, what do you like? He goes, good ones. I said, best I have is Macallan 18. He goes, all right, through 100. He goes, don't get used to that. I was like, all right. Anyway, and he hung out for 2 hours. He was one of the nicest guys ever. But man, he was so interesting. He was such an interesting guy. Because he loved what he did. He loved the science behind it too. It wasn't just he's a guy that slaps the concrete down, or he's into the whole chemistry and how it all works, which is fascinating to me too. How things work chemically. That's I mean, John from Hitman, his son's going to be a chemical engineer, and I was like, "What's it all about?" He goes, "I think it's fascinating how we can make crazy things like uh, concrete and asphalt and all that stuff." And one of the people on the show, I won't say who, but you know who you are, is in that game, and man, they're a fascinating and beautiful person. So it's different. Like how many people think we're all a pack of weirdos because we love wristwatches? It's like almost like girls, but guys who collect dolls, action figures. It's niche, and then there's fragrances and stuff like that. I don't collect fragrances. Because I'm back on the Habit Rouge game, as you guys all know. Thank you, the beautiful Jocelyn Bittenbender, for that surprise attack. It's just I'm so happy to be back on that. And yeah, I've got 4711. You've seen my collection. It's very, very minimal. I have about 8 bottles, 2 of which are empty, but I can't throw them out because it's M7 and I love it dearly. And oh, Drewby's. You're a bad one. Jeffrey Epstein's favorite note is A minor. What cracks me up about skeezy perverts is that when they have money, lots of people like to get in their sandbox, because they're also skeezy, creepy perverts. And, we all know who is on there. And it's incredible. And taking young people to a private island on a private jet, that guy, what, and her, what would tempt a woman to be? I'm fascinated. I'm always fascinated by crimes that happen. I've said this before on the channel, when there's like a coalition together of people who scheme together to do misdeeds. I find that fascinating. Like, the Third Reich, or, like any kind of, like all of Putin's guys all those kids that are getting killed because they're rusty Russian crap, because that place is overrun with oligarchs and poor people. And, I watch all these videos from, devastated places to see how they're operating. The Russian people honestly don't know. They still think it's called a special operation. They don't really know. And they were like, oh, well, there's pedophiles in the Ukraine, and there's, it's all this stuff that they're fed by the propaganda machine. And it's true of us too. We have it here too. We have the same propaganda. Like, here's an example. I got a text message today from somebody I love. And they said to me, can you believe it? I walked past the pharmacy today and they had advertisements for the COVID vaccine. And I went in there to yell at them and said, how could you peddle this poison when now you know the truth? And he said, what are you talking about? And she went on her diatribe about it. I didn't write her back because I don't know what to say, because that's what she believes. There's all the science that says it's mostly good, and then there's some science that says it's a little bit bad. People have different reactions to things. I've had 5 of them. I didn't get pericarditis, or which is a thing that people get from it. There are a couple of people who had it. Like I told you guys about my brother's friend who had the swine flu, and he was in a coma for a couple of years and ruined his entire life. Whatever dreams he had went right out the windows. It just later on, his life just became like crutches, alcohol and drugs, hookers, and being arrested. And he had money because he had a lawsuit against the pharmaceutical company. But these people, they all believe the propaganda machine. And these people in Russia, I noticed that they're walking around in the supermarkets and their food is still relatively cheap, but they just don't get anything from us anymore. And frankly, they probably don't even need it. They probably don't. They could live an insular life. Some countries can't do it. America could do that. We could. We've got more oil than anybody. And we just, there's too much politics involved in it. I mean, I don't think we should do it, but I think it's there. And if we needed it, we could do so many things if we agreed on stuff. It's so easy to agree on stuff. You could have the most completely opposite opinion of me. I'm definitely going to find a couple of things you say to be in line with what I agree with. And maybe you'll teach me a thing or two, or maybe I'll teach you a thing or two. It's called going to the table and just figuring it out. It's crazy. All right now is an A major. All right now, baby, it's all right. I was just talking about him earlier. Paul Rogers, one of the greats. I'm not a bluesy singer, so it was never my influence ever in the whole wide world. But well, he's great though. Dating online apps are so dangerous. My single friends tell me that I've seen all the milky, I've seen all the creepy, weird stories, and it's scary. I would never want to do it. Steve Gillespie's being a smart ass. I hope the Milgauss lettering didn't rub off in the night. Sometimes should I take the sticker off online? I'll do it. Okay. Would you guys enjoy that? So there's the coffee filter thing, right? Okay. So I could change it because I got millions of them, but it's on there pretty good. So it's got a little tab on it too, where you put it on the disposable. And like, I just lost like three people just left the chat because they're like, I don't want to see this guy take a sticker off of his Milgauss. So, but wait till you see how pristine it looks underneath there. So wow, this is on there pretty damn good. Wow, is this going to come off? Shit. Wow, it might not come off at all. It's been on there for quite a while. Oh, wow. I can't even get it has a tab, so you can put it on the coffee thing. Wow. I just made it look really bad, but no, shit. I don't think I'm going to get it off. Oh, I got it. I'm probably going to have to clean the crap out of it now in a minute. See if it'll come off. I got it. There it is. So if you see on the back, see where can I get it? Can I get it where it'll actually see it? Come on, focus. Oh, I got to get out of this screen. See, Rolex Oyster Milgauss. There it is. Yes. Yeah. And I know it's probably not going to come off, but it's not printed on there. It's silk screened. And yeah. I'll put it back. I'll clean it, get all the goopy stuff off there. I also don't want to scratch it because, if you don't use a watch roll, to do that, the thing on the inside. Now, if you look at the inside of it, that's just glue. That's just from the sticky thing. It's showroom new. Listen, I'm trying to get over that whole thing and just whatever. I'll get over it and it'll be fine. Eventually I won't care because, I'm not selling it. So that's just how it goes. Yesterday, Ashim was like, why don't you just sell your Speedy Reduced so you could just start the kicker? Because, now I have to have the first Omega space. It's just the most, after I saw that thing, I was just so blown away by it. I was like, oh my God, it's the most beautiful watch I have ever seen in my entire life. It really is. It's breathtaking. Hesalite is so dead. There's no reason to have Hesalite. There's no reason whatsoever. They've come up with it. Swatch Group has figured it out. They made a Hesalite crystal out of actual sapphire. It has even better distortion because you can't scratch it. It's got this unbelievable, it catches the light, which Hesalite can't do. It looks like a precious jewel and it's so domed and beautiful. It's the most gorgeous thing. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely my Grail watch now, as I said yesterday. And it's definitely something I plan on getting. And he's like, no, why don't you just get rid of the reduced? And I was like, I love this watch. You gave this to me. This is like, I cherish this forever. Are you insane? I'm never going to do that. Never, ever. I'm not a seller anyway. I'm not a guy who does that. So, because these went up. These are like almost $4,000 now. They're doing very well. You used to be able to get them for $1,500. Back in the day, you could get any of those iterations of the Omega Speedmaster automatics. You went on eBay, you went on Chrono. They were like $1,500, $1,600, $1,800. Some of them were $2,000. Cheap. And they're gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful watches. They're amazing timepieces. They're gorgeous. I've never seen one that I hate, really. It depends on the color aesthetic. But they're beautiful timepieces, and now they're all up there. They're really up there, especially those ones that the racing ones. There's that racing one that looks like a Tintin, And I've always had a little bit of a thing about the Tintin. I think it's one of the most beautiful speedies ever. But that's for the people that don't mind color. You know, that's just how it is. Like, you know, today Sheen and I were talking about the white Speedmaster. I've never fancied it. I think it's very nice. It's just that, you know, for me, Speedmasters are black. It's just kind of how it is. But I don't mind the color on the reduced. But the Moonwatch, you know, it all depends on your taste. He told me it's one of the biggest hits they ever put out. The white Speedy is huge because apparently people were waiting for a white Speedmaster. I think it's gorgeous. Do I desire it? No, there's other things I desire more than that. But I certainly wouldn't turn it down. I probably would fall in love with it instantly. I've never liked the white Explorer 2. I don't like that much. Maybe I do love the white Milgauss style. I love that. Wish it had a green crystal, but it doesn't. So, but I like those. And man, those are so expensive now. You could have got those for $6,000, $5,000, like 8 years ago. Now they're more expensive than that. This goes up and down like the stock market. And the Z Blue, nobody cares about that one anymore. It's amazing. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. One of the most beautiful timepieces I've ever seen. That dial's great. And it's blue and orange. You think as a Mets fan, I would absolutely love that. But, you know, the green thing it's like, I don't think that watch should have had a green crystal on it. I don't think so. I think the Z Blue should have had a regular crystal because it takes away from the blue and the orange, because blue on top of orange makes a weird teal color. Not so great. This crystal is not like green on the sides. The whole thing is green. Like the whole watch is green. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that because they never either seen one or whatever, but this entire crystal is, now you're just seeing the edges. I have a blue screen today, so any green that's on there should show up, but it still gives you a little bit of hard time. The whole thing, let me get my face out of the way and it'll focus. There you go. What's upside down? Sorry. So the actual black dial looks a little bit green because of the green crystal, because the whole thing's green. It just didn't work on the Z Blue for me, but you know, that's what makes the world go around. I love that people have different tastes. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't it fantastic? Let's see what you're saying. Sorry, Dirk. All the bad comments. Am I getting bad comments today? I don't know that. White Explorer on your radar. See, that's what makes the world go around. I like it. I think it's cool. 4K when the dial winder does not come off, Dirk, and you have a full loom. I had one of Joe LaFar says, I had one of my tutors serviced and they removed the original. Oh, that's bad. Factory stickers. Oh, man. Wow, Dirk, look at all those close-up scratches. I can barely look at the screen. There's no scratches on here. It's dirt. I have no scratches. Get out of here. It's like pristine. It's pristine. There's no scratches on here. None. I have one scratch right here. And you guys pointed it out. You knew exactly where it was. No scratches. I baby this thing. I'm very careful with it. There's the one scratch. There it is. There's the one scratch. You made me look at it. I have the one. And the other thing that happened was, like, I keep my, my disposable bags that you take from the shops, and I shove them in between my stove and my cabinet because there's a gap there. I don't know what it's for, but I just shove all the bags in there. And one day, as I'm going in, because I'm a lefty, so I wear my watch on my right, I realized it was just about to make contact, and man, I narrowly avoided collision into the stove, which would have been really, really ugly. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's funny, but you did make me look, and that's pretty funny. Steve Skaliski says, Dean says, it's the sweat that got into the Milgauss movement. I would be more convinced. I don't wear it that much. I don't wear it enough. No, I didn't super glue it. Yeah, I use these Nespresso pods. That's the system I use. And French press. That's my coffee go-to. But I do make my own pods because I have these ones that you can reseal, and they when you get them, they come with these stickers. So and they fit perfectly on the back. Here's Stephen Gargano. Hey, Stephen Gargano. Hey, Dirk. Great show as usual. Great to see you in the room. Great. You know what? It's late and it's time for the Gallery of Bashtards. What the hell was I doing all this time? I got so many things to show you.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
Share them with me, and I share with the world. Boom. That's what we do on the iBashers. Oh my God, who's in here first? It's Andrew Wolkowicz. I have to pee, and Senor will not move. Let me get my banner off the screen. Oh, we get to see more of the handsome face. He's really showing up these days. Our Andrew is. Look at you. Oh, how cute is that? Oh, and he won't get off. The man with the cleft. Oh, look at you, Daddy. You're a good daddy. Oh. Handsome cat, handsome man. That's all I can say. Olive discovered the space heater from Andrew. Oh, I missed that. Laverne left me in on St. Patrick's Day, and it was just starting to get warm. But she used to love whenever she jumped on the bed or on the couch, you'd always have to part your legs a little bit and put a blanket down because she wanted to get in the crevasse. That was her favorite thing. And she would just go in there and she'd love the heat. Look at the space heater. Yeah, they love where the space heater is. They do. That's why they love the sunshine so much. Great shot, Andrew. Thank you. And we've got, this was great. This is from Joe last night. I couldn't believe this when I saw it. Man, can they make Legos out of anything? Look at that. Look at this. Rolex Legos. Is this real? Or did somebody make that up? Because that's crazy if you could do that. Look at that. Day dates with the president bracelet in gold. I mean, is that real? I mean, he said something funny. Let me see what he said in the message. He said, this is too entertaining not to share with you in the Bashers. Lego meets luxury, Rolex, AP Cartier. Oh, do they make all of those? That's insane that they do that. Really? Wow. Here's my niece, Christine, and her dog, Vader. And they narrowly escaped the last hurricane, which was really bad because they live in Florida. Look at you. I remember when he was born. Look at the gray snout on him. Oh, my God. And look at that leash. That's such a dingo leash. That was her official color, red, which I have all her leashes. She left in 2008. A while ago. Oh, look at Vader. Oh, look at beautiful big brown eyes on you. Wow. You're a boy. Look at you. Look at you. You're a senior now. God, I remember him and Seamus, her brother, my nephew's wife's mom's dog. How's that? Seamus, he was the cutest puppy. Vader was, oh my God, as a puppy, it was just not even believable. Andrew's got sunbeam love. Oh, who doesn't love the sunbeams? Oh yeah, that's the official favorite place of the cats, isn't it? The sunbeams, incredible. Look at that, and they all pile up because they want the heat. Cats love heat; they just love it, but they love that basking in that sunshine. Yeah, it's weird to not have a feline friend around the house. Here's Ken. Fun stuff. Let's look at some fun stuff from Ken. From our Ken is here. What you got going on here? This is some fancy looking stuff, baby. What is that? This is like Ming Dynasty stuff, but I see like a nuclear symbol up there. Look at that. What is this? What are we looking at? Doesn't this look like some crazy Ming Dynasty stuff? Wow. Look at this, though. I can see Angelo getting into this because look at this. This is part of his, because he lives in a museum practically. His stuff is all curated, is the only word I can ever say. Oh wow. Oh, where are you? Are you in Russia? Where is this? Did you say where it is? I bet you did. Look at the detail on this. Look at the stuff that people used to make. Now we get everything on Amazon. Isn't that hilarious? Wow. So weird. That's beautiful. Is that it? Yeah, thank you. Let me see what Ken said in the email so I can see exactly what I'm talking about. No, it just says fancy stuff. See attached. Dean McKenzie, some of my fragrances. Here we go. Here we go, Dino. You ready? Let's get into fragrance chit chat. Let's see if I know them, if I've smelled them, if I like them, if I hate them. And I'll be honest. I'll be very honest with you. Okay. I don't know what that bottle is because it's too dark. That's Hugo Boss. That's the Bentley fragrance. I know that. That's the Poor Homme Dolce & Gabbana. Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Look at the size of that. That's an $800 bottle of fragrance because his stuff is so expensive. And then you've got a lot of Dior Sauvage. Now, I have to say that I hate Dior Sauvage. You know why? Because I love Eau Sauvage, the original fragrance. This is not a reformulation. This is a completely different fragrance. My neighbor's dad, Jean-Francois, used to wear Eau Sauvage. So I remember it as a child being amazing. I don't have a bottle of Eau Sauvage right now, but I need to get one because I do love it. It's beautiful. That one didn't love that. That's Yves Saint Laurent Jazz, of course. Classic, now discontinued. Dolce & Gabbana, no, not a problem. No, I don't mind that at all. I like your variety here. Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Yeah, it's probably one of the best of his super hyper masculine scents, but man, that bottle's huge. What is that? That's not a 100 mil. What is that? What's the one on the left? Because I don't know what that is. And I've not smelled either of those Hugo Bosses, but I have smelled the Bentley, and I like it. It reminds me of Fahrenheit. I like it. Very cool. Very, very cool. Did I ever show my fragrance? Like I have a shelf with my stuff on it. Very cool. I think that's great. Thanks. Steve McLeod, another happy Speedy Day. Regards, Steve Mack. This is a great shot. This is some great photography. Some great photography. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful Ansel Adams type shot that is. Man, that couldn't sit on your wrist any better than it does. Look at that. Absolute perfection. Looks amazing. Wow. Looks great. Classic shot, bro. Well done. Well done. Well done, Steve. Angelo Minikillo. Cat versus Aliens. Dirk, perhaps James Cameron should consider this idea for the next Alien sequel. Let's see. Yeah, he only did the one, and then he just let it. Look at that. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, look, they're all in there. Oh, man. Did you get AI to do that? It's fun. AI is fun. Oh, the Heinleins, Robert Heinlein, really, the Heinlein Society. The Door into Summer, one of my favorite books ever. I did read a lot of sci-fi, a lot of it. That's great, Angelo. Thanks for that. Let's see. Ridley Scott, James Cameron, debut of Fisher, David Fincher. That was the day his debut movie was Alien 3. And then the French guy did Alien 4. What's his name? Oh, man, I'm not going to remember the guy's name. Which I didn't hate. 3 names, I think. Oh, man. I lost. That sucks. I can't remember it. Love my new hat and check out the progress with the hand. How about that? Yeah. Oh, my God. An actual photograph. Oh, my God. You guys ready? Amazing. Are you amazed? I'm amazed. Look at that. She's got her Basher's hat on. Carolyn Martin. And then look at her hand. It's looking pretty damn good. You almost look like a villain from a James Bond movie. Let's call you the Hook. Madame Hook. But look, your fingers look good. You can almost touch your thumb. Listen, that just looks like you're wearing gloves like Joan Jett. That's all it looks like. It looks pretty damn good. And those are some very attractive frames on you, if I don't say so myself. Look at that. Those are great. What is the thread hanging out there? You pulling out the threads from the look at her with the Basher merch. She had that made, just so you know. These will be available soon. So these are like prototypes. I gave mine to our Italian relatives. Carolyn Martin, look at that. In the flesh. In the flesharoonie. Amazing. Here's Melly C with the Timex Weekender. Oh, look at this. Snoopy's waiting for the bus. This is great. This is great. She's got so many of these. I love this. I love them all. Look at that. Look, it's so cute. It's very expensive to get a Charles Schulz license. So they're one of the few. Look at that. That's amazing. She's never been single either, because now we know it's Auntie M. Amazing. I love this one. I never saw this one, Mel. Never saw it before. I've never seen it in the shops. Never seen it. Isn't that cool? It's a great one. It's a great one. You and your Snoopy. Who doesn't love Snoopy? The general manager of the Omega store told me that the wait list for the Snoopy was just the longest thing he's ever seen in terms of Omega. It was just outrageously impossible for anybody to get, you know. Martin is going to be, Mart, our dear Mart, is going to be photographing the Elephant's Trunk Nebula tonight. Bronson is crashed out, and I wish I could sleep as well as a cat. Let's have a look. Let's see what he's up to. Look at that. Ooh, wow, that's amazing. Amazing. Oh, he's sacked out. Well, he had a tough day. He had to walk around the house. He had to get pet. He had to drink some water. He had to eat. He had to snap. Cat's day is never done. You know, he had a lot of things to do on his plate today. The beautiful Bronson. He's so beautiful. And they're going to be moving house soon. So how's that going to go? Tell me all about it, how that's going to work out for you. You know, and then we've got Steve Zaliski is in with the epic sub. Oh, I didn't know this. Look, this is real, you guys. This is all 100% real. Wow. No idea that this actually happened. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. It's pretty cool, though. Did they make a Speedmaster? I'm going to have to go look it up. I'm going to have to go look it up. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Who knew? That's the Gallery of Bastards.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
That was until Drew just sent us a photograph of the fall. And this is a beautiful photograph. I don't want to leave anybody out while the show's still going. Just because the song plays doesn't mean your picture doesn't have to. That's beautiful. Look at that. Unfortunately, New York doesn't really have much of that. It went from summer and it's freezing right now. And if Dirk doesn't have the air conditioner on, you know it's cold, because I have the air conditioner on all the time, and it's not like I'm always hot. I just hate being hot. But look at that tree. Beautiful. That's amazing. You still get seasons where you are in that top of the world. We don't really get the seasons anymore. Fall is here. Just caught the light on this tree while watching the live stream. It's absolutely beautiful, Drew. Thanks for that. Thank you, Killer. Let's catch up on the chats before we go for the day. And tomorrow, of course, is going to be the show with the big guy. Wish me luck tomorrow. It's going to be whatever. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do, but, it's just going to be more. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Andy M says, hey, Dirk, good day to be kind, sir. It's always a good day to be kind, Always a good day to be kind. That's for sure. And Melly C says, I get ads for Christian dating website. God only knows why. Because maybe you're looking for a like-minded person. I mean, imagine that if that was a thing. That's kind of the thing. Growing up, we knew so many pizza bagels, which are like Italians and Jews. They would marry a lot. It's a big combo in New York for sure. Huge combo. They get both cultures. It's cool. Maybe they don't get, most of them don't get both religions. Some of them they do. Now, when John, who is very, very Sicilian, married Karen, who is Jewish, New Yorker, and she wasn't practicing or anything, but culturally Jewish. When they decided to have children, John's mom said, they're going to be Catholic or you're not going to be here. The grandparents, she was going to steal the kids and have them christened, but they didn't. And it's funny because Karen goes to church now. I think she enjoys the community. I don't think she was ever really grew up in any kind of thing like that. But, some people do, some people don't. I go to church once in a while, because, sometimes it's really nice to hang around, in that kind of a scenario where people are going there with good intentions, you would think, sometimes it's nice. Sometimes I go in there to light candles and, wish people well and that kind of stuff. And, I had that. I'm not saying I had a religious experience, because I did not. I was actually quite mad at God, when all of this crap going on, and it's just horrible. And then Laverne left me, and I went to midnight mass, and I wasn't planning on going. I was going to the store to go get like Diet Coke at, midnight, 12:15, and I saw that the doors of the church were open, but there were no lights on. I went in there. It was a candlelit vigil. It was midnight mass. It was not midnight. It was Easter vigil. And I went in there, and I had a complete and utter meltdown. It was weird. It just happens. Who knows why that happens? Joe LaFaro says, drowning in wine. I'm going to try that. I don't like being drunk. I like being tipsy. Tipsy's fun. Oh, also gin, that's over with, because I was drinking twice. I drank gin on the show because, it's got no carbohydrates, and I'd rather deal with the residual sugar in wine because I didn't turn into a jackass or anything. It's just I don't like the taste in your mouth, and it actually hits you very fast, which I did not like at all. Eric B with £4.99. The singer versus the lead guitarist. What does that mean exactly? In my opinion, I've always said this, like, when you can name all the members of the band, that's the band. Like, think about, you could always name the Beatles, Kiss, Queen. There's not a whole lot of, like, does anybody know what the bass player's name is from the Foo Fighters? Does anybody know who the drummer is in Coldplay? I think his name is Champion. I think I know that, but I don't know what the other guy's name is. Does anybody know who any of the drummers are in Oasis? No. So I think, obviously the singer and lead guitar players are always the people that get, all the girls and stuff. But the truth of the matter is the drummer gets all of that stuff. Drummers always get more than anybody. They get more of everything. More of everything. Thank you, Eric B. John Doe says, wait till Trump gets in. Like it or not, he'll be turning things upside down. Camilla gets it. It will be more of the same, blah, 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 blah. Either way, they're both going to suck, so I don't care. I'm the same, Dirk. To lose weight, you just have to live like a monk for a while and switch off to normal life. I know. And to answer your earlier question, I wish there was like a candidate that motivated me to. I wish there was that, but I don't know if you can have that anymore, because every single wart is on everybody's ass now. We know everybody's personal details, who they sleep with, what they're, every dumb little thing. And I like mystery. I don't want to know everything, like sex scenes in movies. I've told you guys about that. Just make the lights dim. We know what happened. We don't need to see it. But now you got all these people, he's full frontal. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs it. Maybe I should do more Kate Bush singing. Nobody needs it. Wake up. Stupid. That's the problem with that. It's just like, it makes you just go, I have no problem moving to that country that currently has a fascist leader. The brotherhood of whatever the hell she's in. Two wrongs don't make a right, but two lefts do. Boom. You were late, but you contributed in a massive way. MBS. Oh, wow. Am I that late in the chats? MBS. What do I call them? MPS? Miles per second, whatever. It's funny. MBS. Yeah, that guy's so, it's amazing. He gets a seat at the table. And like, we know that he killed Khashoggi. Like, it's well known, John Doe says that many people in the world flock to Paris to see the Mona Lisa. MBS bought the Christ painting. Think people come to Saudi Arabia to see it? I don't think so. So going to a Muslim country to see Jesus. That's funny. So, the other thing about that is that recently uncovered Da Vinci, that was completely repainted in New York by a woman who worked, and there's this bookstore called Argosy. It's been there forever and ever and ever. And she was a regular there. And so she was all over the news, because when the authenticators, before it got into the zeitgeist, they found this thing. They didn't know exactly what it was. And she went in there and she repainted it. That's Salvador Mundi. So yeah, that thing's been repainted by a woman in New York. And it is funny though, that they're going to see that. It looks like Da Vinci, I guess. That's crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. So did I went way too far. Down the chat thing. Eau Sauvage. Yeah, I love Eau Sauvage. Have you ever tried that, Dean? Have you ever tried that? Thanks, Joe. Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I knew it was one of those things. I couldn't remember his name. 5-year wait for the Snoopy in the UK. Gray market best option. Yeah, it is, you know. It is. Kevin Landon says, great news, Carolyn Martin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, you guys are all smart showing up Jean-Pierre Jeunet. You ready? I hate it. I hate it. Dirk, what do you think about the Aventus Absolute? I picked up a bottle a couple of weeks ago. You're enjoying it? Man, I did it live, Drew. I went to Bloomingdale's. I had a really crap signal in there. Now, like Creed, I have a very big problem with that company, and it drives my sister bananas because she loves it. Because it's like it pretends to be an ancient company, and it's not. It was invented in the 70s. And they took the history of this chemist or this, apothecarist, if that's a word. And I liked some of their stuff. Like I like the Irish tweed. I think it's nice. But the Aventus thing, you know what it is? And it didn't smell bad. I didn't hate it. Because M7 is my thing, that's my favorite of the oud actions. And everything else smells like a dirty ashtray to me. That's why I don't like any of the Tom Ford ouds. I don't like them. I don't like him at all. And he charges way too much money anyway. He needs to get off his high horse. He sold his company for, what is it, $3 billion? Something like that. So Tom, he's going to make movies. He's never going to have to worry about anything ever again. He's got plenty of money. And the creative, they had about 6 new fragrances I never heard of. And there was that one that I almost got, and I forget the name of it. It was Myrrh. It was the best one of the bunch. And then he sprayed it on my wrist. And an hour later, it smelled like talcum powder, as that often happens with all of Tom Ford's fragrances dry to powder on me. I don't know what it is about that. That's a very expensive bottle. Also, Creed is incredibly expensive. Holy macaroni. Can I just see that bottle again? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it's the big black bottle, right? Yeah, this bottle, let me see how much this costs. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. I mean, this is the thing. Listen, I've told you guys a million times. Drew, I don't know if you were around when I told everybody about this, but there is a bottle of cologne on my shelf that I always make sure is, I have a fresh bottle because it's something that I absolutely love. And it's called 4711, and it costs nothing. It costs like Jer O'Malley, the O'Malley's mom. She just bought a bottle of it for €17 because it's unbelievably cheap, and it smells exactly like Tom Ford Neroli Portofino without the powder. So look, Absolute Aventus is $565. What's for 75 mil? Oh my God, it's not even 100 mil and they want that much money. That's a lot of money. Wow. Grapefruit, pineapple, and smoky Haitian vetiver. Yeah, everybody was going crazy. I was dying to try it because I was like, all right, my sister and I, it's probably my problem is, Dean says, Eau Sauvage is that citrusy lemon note. Yes and no. It has a very, 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 very deep sandalwoody vibe underneath it. So yeah, it's got its top notes are definitely bergamot. There's a little bit of sage. There's so many amazing top notes in that thing, but the way and its sillage later on, it becomes a sex machine. It's just so manly and sexy later on. First, it goes on super fresh, as you know, most fragrances go on. Like Habit Rouge goes on. There's like it's like and I hate cinnamon. I'm not a cinnamon fan in any way, shape, or form. I don't like to eat it. I don't like to smell it. I don't like anything about it. When it goes on, it's almost got a quick cinnamon, but it dissipates in about 2 seconds, and then you start to smell all the other components of that. Now, the original one did not have that at all, which you can still get on, Fragrantica and all the other dummy. There's so many different places, and so I'm so sick of the whole reformulation game in the fragrance market. It just drives me bananas. I like a lot of the basics, but 4711, Drew, if you want to just go on Amazon, and maybe you did already, maybe you watched the show. Nobody doesn't like it. It's the freshest. If you like Neroli, the only thing it doesn't have is it doesn't have that kind of sillage. It doesn't have it. You won't be leaving vapor trails behind you, and it's nice to have a little carry-on and you spray it in your bag because it's wonderful. It's really great. I think you'd love it. Joe LaFaro says the only difference between an Italian grandmother and a Jewish grandmother is the accent. But on the sauce. I like gin. I think it tastes great. It does, but it hit me really. It's very, 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 very hard. 20th Century Boy says Carolyn Martin is a total angel for this great channel. She is. She's the fairy godmother of this channel. There's no doubt about it. Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, that's the show. Thanks so much. I'm going to get back to editing, so I have something for you. Thanks for all the good luck for tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. It's more mayhem and disagreements, and I'm willing to work with people. Drew B on me 47 lasts for like 30 minutes on my skin. I do love the scent though. Yeah, it doesn't last very long. That's why I keep a little atomizer if I'm wearing it. I have like the little because you can get it in the really small sizes. It's really good. Yeah, and it's only eau de cologne. They don't, I don't think that they make a eau de parfum. I think that's it. It's it's bath water. It's just a splash after you get out of the shower. But man, I love the scent. It's so fresh and clean, and I have such incredible memories because everyone had that in their bathroom when I was a kid. America, Ireland, everybody's bathroom had a bottle of 47. The women can wear it. The men can wear it. It's like the first unisex thing. And it's 600 or 400, it's hundreds of years old. So old. It's an incredible fragrance. I really love it. Anyway, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much. I want to thank you. Thank you, Melly C. Love you too. Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for all the things that you do for the channel. Thanks for all the Gallery of Bashtards. Remember, you can get me at basherdirk@gmail.com. That is basherdirk@gmail.com for all of your Dirk needs and your iBasher needs, whatever you want. Just send me a letter. Send me a shout. We'll talk. We'll have coffee. We'll talk. I'd love to see you. Guys, until then, remember to keep the door open. Remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, when you encounter unkindness, you don't know what that person's going through. It could be something really, really terrible. And maybe they just need you to give them a little bit of slack. It's either that or they're just a